It has been the perfect week for Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs go goal crazy at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 6. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. It is game day again for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club as the games have come thick and fast for Spurs. It has been a very, very busy week. Last Sunday we played Newcastle at home. Of course, that ended in a 1-1 draw. And then on Tuesday evening we beat Chelsea 5-4 on penalties after drawing 1-1 after 90 minutes. So Spurs are now through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Just 2 days later we played Maccabi Haifa, the Israel side, for the playoff game in the Europa League. We won that one 7-2. Tottenham hit a staggering 7 goals with a Harry Kane hat-trick as well. And Tottenham are now through to the group stages of the Europa League. And then Tottenham signed a striker. Friday evening, Tottenham Hotspur confirmed a striker had signed for us. It had been 15 months, a staggering 15 months since Fernando Llorente had left Tottenham and we didn't have a backup striker or a striker to compete with Harry Kane. But we have signed Carlos Vinicius from Benfica on a season-long loan. So a win at Old Trafford today against Manchester United in the Premier League really would top off the perfect week for Jose Mourinho and Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. So let's hope that Tottenham can get the 3 points today. I'm going to go with a 3-2 Tottenham win, and I might add that Heung-min Son is back for Spurs as well. What a huge boost that will be. We're now a couple of hours away until kick-off. I'm now going to speak to Spurs fan Ricky Sachs ahead of this game at Manchester United v Spurs, get his thoughts on the match and also ask him whether he thinks that we will sign any more players before the transfer deadline, which is tomorrow, 11 p.m. Ricky, Manchester United today in the Premier League. It would be fair to say if we got the 3 points today, it would end the perfect week for Tottenham Hotspur, wouldn't it?
It would indeed. Yes, it would. It would be a great end to a great week. Massive game this afternoon. I think we're all probably of the same mindset that we want this Spurs team to turn up. I think that was the biggest concern last year going under there with Jose Mourinho. I think we've made a great start under Mourinho previously. The concern was, like I say, going to Old Trafford, could this team show the character, desire, determination, bottle? And we didn't this time last year. So, you know, a big opportunity now to kind of rewrite that script. Spurs, due to the start of the season, I think we do need to go there and win. I think we genuinely do. Look at a team like Everton, they can't stop winning. So Spurs, for their own sake of the Premier League, need to go and win this game today. And, you know, listen, Old Trafford's never easy, but Old Trafford is not what Old Trafford used to be under Sir Alex Ferguson. We've got some very decent players in our team. Heung-min Son, obviously, very late on, has confirmed that he's travelled. So great opportunity. A little bit concerned that we haven't got Giovanni Lo Celso, Steven Bergwijn as options, but these players have been put through the ringer recently in terms of games. So we've got more than enough quality in our team to do United some damage. And we're playing against a United team, for me, that just looks so vulnerable at the moment, Chris. You know, they really do at the back. There's goals to be got at. If we can defend well as a team, which has always been our biggest concern about Tottenham, if we can defend well as a back four or back five, we've got a magnificent chance today to get all 3 points.
Ricky, you mentioned Giovanni Lo Celso there. It is a little bit frustrating for us Tottenham fans, isn't it? That the way that we seem to have these great players come in and the injury problems that he has had since he signed for us.
It is, yeah. I mean, listen, I think it was always that concern. Eriksen made it clear he wanted a new challenge. We didn't have a huge amount of time to act. And I'd say that because, you know, the nature of it, 4 to 5 months, you think that's more than enough time to go out there and bring in someone that's as good as Christian Eriksen. I think what we've found and really we've noted is that Eriksen was so good. And maybe, again, it's only when you realise when these players leave, just how hard they are to replace. You know, I can read off names in the past, Luka Modric, Michael Carrick, you know, these kind of players that when you actually let them go, you do quite realise just how good they were for the team. And again, I think Eriksen, for all of his critics about he couldn't beat a first man, his goals and overall contributions in a game, we are finding it still very hard to replicate those. And of course, we want Giovanni Lo Celso to be that man. But for me, I think he does appear at the moment to be favoured playing a bit more deeper. And they got a couple of goals during the week against Maccabi Haifa. But we've got to be honest, Chris, we know that's a second-rate opposition. I think when it's Premier League quality, Spurs, listen, I hope Ndombele can be that man. I think Ndombele has shown the quality to play further forward. I think he's got a good strike on him. We saw against Aston Villa last season on the opening day. He's got that quality. But it is worried about the Celso. The fact we can't keep him fit is a little bit of a concern. But we saw in the Amazon documentary, which obviously we were delighted to be collaborated a part of with Amazon, that, he did say in that documentary, you can count on me. He says that to Mourinho many, many times, the fact that, he is willing to put his body on the line. But the fact is, if he's not fit, then he's not fit. So it's a very, very difficult one to marry up. I mean, listen, we've got an international break coming, so it's just a shame. Hopefully he's back after that. But I think the news of Son being in the squad is a big boost to the team.
Absolutely. Ricky, how good has this week actually been? Because when we go back to last Sunday, of course, I know we drew 1-1 against Newcastle, but when you have a look at the overall performance, the amount of chances we created, the amount of shots on target, the goalkeeper had a blinder, and then of course Tuesday night, Tottenham are now in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. We all want trophies coming. Can they come is another question.
Of course,
Thursday, of course, Tottenham then hit 7. And then we go into a Manchester United game today. Surely all of those players, the week we've had, they are going to go into this Manchester United game today with huge confidence.
I think so, Chris. I mean, the thing about last week, which is one of those things where you can only control what is in your control. And last week, that decision to give against us in the 95th minute, that's beyond our control. We can't do anything about that. Yes, the game against, obviously, Newcastle should have been put to bed. We had so many chances. If Carlos Vinicius was around, maybe we'd be talking about a different result. Let's be honest about it. But we had a good 14 to 15 shots, a game that we absolutely dominated Newcastle United. And I think the fact that even Steve Bruce came out and was just so honest after the whistle and said, we didn't deserve that. And there'll be times, during the season where VAR and the handball rule won't go for them. So, on the back of that performance last week, I was really buoyed. Gutted we didn't get the result, but I could start to see, Chris, what we were trying to do. And I think that's been one of the biggest concerns under the tenure so far of Jose Mourinho is that, number one, are the players listening? And number two, can we actually see a plan in place here that's going to work for us long term in the length of his contract? And I think what you are starting to see now is these players buying into his philosophy, his ideology, and the signings are all of the makeup of a Jose Mourinho character. They're all 6 foot, tall, commanding, determined, vocal leaders. That's what all these guys are. So, on the back of the win against Chelsea, well, that was the penalty shootout. I think because it was Chelsea and the opposition we're playing, it almost gave us an added boost, to get over the hurdle of Chelsea, then a penalty shootout, and the manner we done it was just fantastic. And I think, as we know, Spurs fans, when it goes to penalties, Chris, we know it's a lottery, right? We didn't ever listen. We know it's always 50-50. With Tottenham, it feels like 80-20. We're going to get the result. But credit to the players, credit to the boys, credit to Jose Mourinho, and then to follow that up again with a really impressive performance on Thursday. A 7-2 victory. I don't care who it's against, if it's a bunch of farmers, if it's, a second-rate Europa League tie, to go and score 7, and the manner we done it, and the fact Dele had a little cameo and was appearing as well, I really enjoyed it. So it's been a great week. And what would top it off, of course, would be a result today. That would be really a great week. Going into an international break where hopefully on the other side of it, we've got Gareth Bale to come in, we've got Vinicius to come in. The thought of having Gareth Bale in the same team as Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, and then behind that you've got the Celso and Ndombele, Bergwijn, Mora, Lamela. I mean, it's just wonderful options. I mean, I think we forget as well as fans, this transfer window has been remarkable. I know we're getting so caught up in the idea of having Skriniar as well. I know you're going to come on and ask me about him. But if you just look at what we've done so far this window, it has been remarkable. And I think you have to give the board some credit. I think, if someone told you you were going to have Gareth Bale back, you would have probably sacrificed all the other signings just to have Bale in. But the token fact that we've gone and identified the centre defensive mid, we've got that sorted, the right back, the left back, backup goalkeeper, striker, we've gone and done all that, and we've got Gareth Bale. You've got to say it's been a great window. And, of course, we're all hoping for one more. We all just want that last icing, the cherry on top of the cake we hope's going to come. But it's been a great week as a Tottenham fan.
Well, it's exciting, Rick. We're all feeling very, very excited again. And
I'm worried I'm doing you this preview like this before the game.
It's fantastic. But you mentioned Carlos Vinicius there. Tottenham has signed a striker. Last time we spoke, we were saying about that it was over 15 months since Fernando Llorente had left the club. Tottenham haven't had a backup striker or a striker to compete with Harry Kane, no matter how you want to put it. How excited are you for, about Carlos Vinicius signing for us?
Very, very excited. I mean, listen, again, every signing comes with an urge of caution. He hasn't played Premier League football. He hasn't played in England. It's a different dimension, different culture. And what I do like the fact that he's come along with us for this trip to Man United, just to, again, try and embed him in the culture of the club. His initiation looked very, very fun. The fact that we had the opportunity we could see Delhi was there as well, which was great. I think, he's a really exciting prospect. And you look at the breakdown of this deal, what is it? 2.73 million. It's almost like going and testing the latest Porsche car out. You haven't got to buy it. You can just go and drive it for a year, and then you decide whether you want it. It's just quite a remarkable bit of business from Daniel Levy to go and pull this off the way he has done. I mean, it's a wonderful piece of business, and hopefully we're sitting there in a year's time, and we want to pay the 38 million, to go and get him for another couple of years. But very, very excited. I know some fans will feel, listen, one of our own, Lee McQueen, of course, he was desperate for Danny Ings. Many fans out there wanted a Raul Jimenez, Milik of Napoli. The issue you've got always is when you're bringing a player in from overseas, it's how quickly can they hit the ground running. And what Vinicius needs is a very early goal. And fingers crossed he gets that after the international break against West Ham. But I'm very excited. Listen, we've waited, you just said it there, God knows how long for a striker. Now we've got one. I thought the Spurs official, the social team there were great. That was fantastic. When you saw the options on there, special relationship with Real Madrid and, the Son, it was just... that was wonderful. It was wonderful. And credit to the social media team this year because sometimes, there's no harm in laughing at yourself, right? When we've had a couple of mistakes in the past. We've all known we've needed a striker for so long. And the fact we've gone and tried to sign every other player in every other position bar a striker, and now we've finally done it. It does appear, though, again, from reports that one of the non-negotiables of the transfer window was Mourinho said, look, I need to get a striker. So I think credit to him. He just seems to be identifying all the positions as fans. We've been saying for years, and we've been saying we need a defensive mid, we need a striker, we need a left back, we need a right back. To be fair to him, whatever he's done to Daniel Levy, it's just incredible, isn't it, really? He's almost like cast a spell on him. But it just shows you, doesn't it? Again, the backing, it's always going to be a question whether Pochettino got adequate enough backing compared to Mourinho. But at the end of the day, I'd rather focus on the here and now, that the deals are getting done. And it's a very exciting time. And that sounds silly. It's obviously very, very exciting. But a lot of it, I do feel, depends on this Man United game today. Because if we get a win, that's 2 wins out of a possible 4. It's an okay-ish start. We've got a draw as well. If we lose today, it's not been a great start to the season. So although we've had a great week in terms of, European competition, domestic League Cup-wise, this is a very, very big game today. Because this United side should be a team in which we're looking ourselves against to see, okay, are we on the same level? Are we better than them? And I think, you look at us, I think a better manager, I think a better overall squad. Don't get me wrong, United have got some marvellous individual players. Bruno Fernandes, listen, take away his penalties aside, he's a quality player. He is a quality player. And we all would have absolutely loved to have him in our team. And I do go along and saying that if Fernandes was in Tottenham's team last season, we would have qualified for the Champions League. We would 100%. If we signed Bruno Fernandes last season, Tottenham would have qualified for the Champions League hands down. Look at the amount of points United amassed when he walked through the door. Every one of those United players' performances went up a level. So he's a quality player. And I just wish, as a Spurs fan, if I look back at kind of things in the past which kind of hindered us, not moving quick enough for Bruno Fernandes. Although we got the Celso, I like the Celso, don't get me wrong, I think he's a good player. But out of the two, this might upset some Spurs fans, I'd take Bruno Fernandes in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think both you and I both said the same thing at the time. Just a stat, Ricky. From the start of last season, Manchester United have been awarded 15 penalties in the last 40 Premier League games. We all know, they get awarded penalties all the time. What's your score prediction today, by the way?
Well, I think a lot. This again sounds very, very harsh. A lot of it depends if Eric Dyer is in the centre of our defence, because you just mentioned that penalty record there, and bless him, Eric Dyer. I think this is the hard thing. Dyer wants to be a centre-back. Whether he's good enough to be a centre-back is two different things at the moment. So I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Spurs win. A lot of that has a lot of dependence on there for me. That Heung-min Son starts, that Toby Alderweireld is in the team. potentially alongside Japhet Tanganga. I've got no issue with Eric Dyer, but what it does appear to be is that Eric Dyer is Jose Mourinho's main man at the moment, and therefore I do expect Dyer to play. As much as I would love a centre-back pairing of Alderweireld and Tanganga, that gives you a bit of experience as well as pace in there. So I'm going to go with 2-1 Spurs, and of course United will get a penalty.
Ricky, I can't have you on the channel without asking you about transfer deadline day, which of course is tomorrow. Will Tottenham get the final piece of the jigsaw, and will we sign Milan Skriniar tomorrow?
I would love to sit here and say, yes, we will. I think as things stand, as I record to you on a Sunday afternoon, I think at the moment, the fact that he was in Inter Milan's team for their game, obviously he's part of their squad, that's a big worry. And I think if the transfer was as close as what we would like it to be, he wouldn't be anywhere near their involvement. And the issue you've got at the moment is that, I think Milan value him around 60 million euros. Tottenham value him between 30 to 45 billion. There's a lot of compromise to do there to come to a figure that's agreeable with both clubs. And it is a real shame, because to commit to seeing, images and videos of our own head of recruitment out in Milan, in Steve Hitchen, and not get this deal done is desperately disappointing. But again, from what I'm hearing, there does appear to be a case of where they are still looking at maybe Rudiger, Demiral, Juventus. But I think Spurs, I can't believe I'm saying this, we're in this position now where if we don't get the centre-half this window, as much as I'll be absolutely devastated, if we can muddle through to January and then reassess the situation then, I don't think that'll be the worst thing in the world. And because, listen, I know it's not my money, it's not our money, but to go and pay 60 million euros on a defender that he looks class, don't get me wrong, but he's not Premier League proven, hasn't kicked the ball over in England in his life, I think that's a massive amount of money to commit to when you've already signed Gareth Bale, Vinicius, Matt Doherty, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Joe Hart. I know some of those are free transfers, but it's a lot to commit to. And obviously Reguilon as well, may I add, 27 million euros. It's a lot to commit to for a player that hasn't played in the Premier League. And I think that is the reason why at the moment Spurs are, just erring on the side of caution. If the deal is right for all parties, it will happen. However, to ask a percentage right now, I would probably say it's probably 70 to 30 that he stays a Milan player. But of course, it's the transfer window. Things change in the blink of an eye. So again, I might be wrong. By the time you listen to this tomorrow, he might be a Spurs player holding the shirt up. So honestly, you cannot predict or ever see momentum where it goes in a transfer window. Hopefully we get it done. But yeah, to kind of sum that up very quickly, I'll have to waffle on. I can't see that happening right now.
Ricky, I hope you're right, and I hope that Milan Skriniar gets over the deal tomorrow, and it really will be the perfect week for Tottenham Hotspur, and of course a win today. Thank you very much for joining me, and come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.
The lineups have just been announced, and Tottenham star and South Korean star Heung-min Son is back for Tottenham Hotspur. What fantastic news it is for us. Hugo Lloris is in goal, and then the back four of Serge Aurier, Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez and Sergio Reguilon is making his Premier League debut for Spurs today. And then the midfield of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Moussa Sissoko and Tanguy Ndombele, and the attacking force of Eric Lamela, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. Very important game today. This is probably Tottenham's biggest test so far this season, playing Manchester United away. It would be fantastic to get the 3 points. It really would end a great week for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And going into the international break as well, we want to see on the Premier League table that we have won 2, drawn 1 and lost 1 out of the first 4 games. And I think it would be a very decent start for Tottenham if we won today. We want to see everything. We want to see the players giving 100%. We want to see the grit, determination, willingness to win, and go to Old Trafford, give them a game and give them our attacking force of Eric Lamela, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. We all know what Harry Kane and Heung-min Son are capable of, and it is just so good to see Heung-min Son back in the starting lineup today. Perhaps another 4 goals for him like he done at Southampton a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, my score prediction today, I'm going to go for a 3-2 Tottenham win. So come on you Spurs. So I know I went for a 3-2, but it's half-time and it is Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Tottenham Hotspur, it is fair to say we are on fire. The partnership of Heung-min Son and Harry Kane, wow, wow, wow. I tell you what, the disappointing thing is that Tottenham haven't scored more than 4 goals because We have been absolutely brilliant going forward. If you think to that game last week at home to Newcastle, we should have scored an absolute hatful. And I think today is going to be the day that we're going to do that. We've scored 4 in the first half. And as I say, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane are on fire. It all started very poorly for Tottenham after 30 seconds. Fernandes took the penalty. Sanchez brought Martial down. You can't argue about the penalty. And all of us Tottenham fans probably thought after 30 seconds, oh, here we go again. But Tottenham, great pressure from Eric Lamela, mix up in the Manchester United defence, and Ndombele scored. It was a great reply, and that was just after 4 minutes. So a very good reply from Tottenham, making it 1-1. In the 7th minute, Heung-min Son put Tottenham at 2-1 up after a fantastic assist yet again from Harry Kane. The assists just keep coming from the England front man. And then in the 19th minute, Manchester United went close. Rashford hit the post, but it was ruled off for offside anyway. Then in the 25th minute, you'd have put all of your money on Heung-min Son scoring after he was played through. But he just took a poor touch and then it went through to the goalkeeper. A minute later, Aurier had a chance and De Gea saved it. By this point, you thought that Tottenham were on the attack every single minute or every other minute. Tottenham were playing some really, really good football by this stage. The 27th minute, great work from Ndombele, save from De Gea. Lamela rebound, then deflected. At this point, you thought that Tottenham were going to score an absolute hatful. This was a really good spell for Tottenham. Just a minute later, in the 28th minute, Reguilon had a chance. It was blocked. Then it came out again. Ndombele, it was blocked again and then went out for a corner. And then in the 29th minute, Martial was sent off. He was given a straight red card for violent conduct on Eric Lamela. Then in the 31st minute, Harry Kane scored for Spurs. Sonny assisting Harry Kane at this time. And then in the 37th minute, Heung-min Son made it 4-1 to Tottenham. Aurier to Heung-min Son with an absolute fantastic finish yet again. And then in the dying seconds of stoppage time, just before the half-time whistle, Harry Kane head up from a corner just wide. I could have spoken about so many chances that Tottenham have had in this half. We are 4-1 up, but it could have been a lot more. Anyway, I'm now going to speak to Spurs fan Dave to see what he has made of the first half. So I've now got Spurs fan Dave with me. It's half-time, Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4. I'm just going to say that again because I just want to try and get used to it. Man United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Dave, how are you feeling?
Oh, it's over the moon. I'm really top of the world at the moment. I mean, I think we're in dreamland here. I've got a smile as wide as the Thames. So yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Dave, it didn't start off very well. After 30 seconds, Manchester United got their penalty, as a lot of Tottenham fans thought that they would get a penalty today. But Tottenham have somehow turned it around and we are on fire. Heung-min Son and Harry Kane have done it again.
I've done it again. I mean, yeah, it reminded me of the Champions League final all over again with that penalty in the first 30 seconds. I thought, well, that was a penalty this time, you know. I thought your heart sinks, don't you? Because we've all been up there and they've scored a goal like that. And, you know, you fear the worst, don't you? But we just grew into it. We absolutely did. And on Ndombele's, he's running the midfield. I mean, Man United are all over the shop at the back. Yeah, I think they played into our hands playing that Eric Bailly because he's been undercooked, hasn't he? And I think Harry's overcooked him now. But Sonny was a masterclass coming through, wasn't he? And he could have had another one where he just sort of shot. You know, he stumbled, but you know, we can't be greedy, can we? Or can we? I mean, well,
you say that, Dave. We've scored 4 goals, but when you think of all of the chances, if we dissected that first half and went through every single chance that Spurs have had, my God, we could have had 8, 9, 10 goals this half.
Yeah, did you see the stat come up? Four attempts for them, 12 for us. It's 12 attempts. It's 8 after the sending off. I think we had, the last 10 minutes or something, it was 8 attempts we'd had on target. There's so many. I mean, I think there's more goals to come, Chris. I really do.
So do I. I hope there is. And when you think that we've got new signing Carlos Vinicius to come in, Gareth Bale to come in, how on earth are they going to get in the team?
Well, how are they going to get into this side? That's what I want to know. I mean, I mean, the sending off was out of the blue, really. You can't touch someone's face. I know he made a meal of it, but you can't go swiping around people's faces, can you, these days? I mean, it was a bit of pushing and shoving at first, and then, you just can't touch someone's face in the area. So, yeah, I mean, that's obviously they're down to 10 men, which will help us. But, I mean, he's been a thorn in our side for years, Martial. So, in a way, I'm glad to sit the back of him.
Love it. So you're expecting more goals in the second half then, Dave?
More, yeah. I say you might get a couple more. But, just hope we don't concede any, because that centre-half partnership is still... obviously Sanchez got the wrong side of Martial there, didn't he? And, 30 seconds, you just suddenly think, oh, well, is this deja vu or what?
The great thing about this side, though, Dave, is that we just look so threatening going forward. Every single time we're attacking, a couple of weeks ago, hitting 5 at Southampton. Of course, Sonny got 4. I'll be surprised now in the second half, if Sonny stays on for the second half, that he doesn't complete another hat-trick.
I think he should stay on for his hat-trick at least, and then they'll come bring him off. Harry's just had the 1 goal, but I mean, he's made... I lost count, but I think he might have made 1 or 2 anyway. I mean, what a piece of quick thinking from Harry to make that first Sonny goal when he got fouled and he pushed that. He done the quick. Sonny was on the move immediately. I mean, what an understanding that was! What a fantastic bit of play. I mean, We've had people do that to us, but isn't it lovely that we're doing it to other teams? It really is.
This result, Dave, if we get the 3 points, and hopefully Tottenham will, this will be the perfect end of a fantastic week.
Oh, I know you've said it before in the commentary, but as you say, what a lovely week it's been, and it has. I mean, if it hadn't been for that VAR against Eric Dyer on last Sunday, I mean, we would have been even had the 4 wins, but. Even that's forgotten now to a certain extent, because really that was a win morally. That was a win, wasn't it? Really. I mean, it's a shame the international break's coming in a way, because
you're right.
We want to carry on in this vein. We don't want to have a break. We want 4 games a week. I think that suits us. We've got the players now. I mean, it really is all to play for, and this is how we put this to bed. We don't want any them getting back into it or anything, but that's all we want. We will put this to bed, and as you say, get Sonny and perhaps Harry, rest Harry as well. And they're thriving on all these games. They really are.
Enjoy the second half and come on, you Spurs.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the second half. I might enjoy it as much as the first half.
Cheers, Dave.
Cheers.
The final whistle has just gone. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 6. Can you believe it? Would you have predicted that score? I went for a 3-2, but Tottenham were on fire today. Heung-min Son and Harry Kane have done it again. Absolutely fantastic. The game plan from Jose Mourinho clearly worked. It didn't work after 30 seconds. That was the only downfall for Tottenham today. But the rest of the 89.5 minutes that Tottenham played, we were absolutely brilliant. The execution in all of our chances as well was absolutely brilliant. Ndombele got the first goal for Tottenham. Heung-min Son got a brace. Harry Kane got a brace with a penalty in the second half as well. And even Serge Aurier got on the score sheet as well. A brilliant performance from Tottenham Hotspur. And I tell you what, we haven't even got Carlos Vinicius on the pitch yet. And we haven't even had Gareth Bale, the superstar, on the pitch wearing a Tottenham shirt as yet. Wait until them two enter the frame as well. Tottenham are absolutely frightening right now. Going forward, we just look like we're going to score goal after goal after goal. And as I keep saying on this video, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane are on fire. A thoroughly decent display by Tottenham Hotspur today. And I tell you what, Premier League, look out, because I think Tottenham could be a real force in the Premier League this season. You never ever know in football. And with the squad that Jose Mourinho is building, we've still got 24 hours of the transfer deadline as well. So if we could bring in a defender, perhaps tomorrow, you never ever know what Tottenham can achieve this season. Of course, we are in the Europa League group stages. We are in the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. And in the Premier League, you never know. I feel very, very confident that Tottenham will finish in the top 4. And can we even challenge for the Premier League based on performances like Southampton away a couple of weeks ago, scoring 5, scoring 6 at Old Trafford today? You never ever know in football. Anyway, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. What did you make of the game today? And I'll see you on another Tottenham video very soon. Come on, you Spurs.